Hi, my name is Christina and I am your librarian here at Christina's Bookshelf, and today I am bringing you Under a Blue Moon. This is Camp HOWL number 2 by Brew Baker, published by Dreamspinner Press. This is part of their Dreamspun Beyond series, which I am a huge fan of. In this one we meet Nick Perry and Drew Welch. However, we meet them in the most wonderful meet cute possible. They're both on their way to their new jobs at Camp HOWL, but they don't know that they're both on their way there. Let me backtrack. They both know individually they're on their way there, but they don't realize they're on their way there together, and their flight gets delayed. And they've seen each other, they've been eyeing each other, and they decide to make the best of this layover. Fast forward to actually being at Camp HOWL, and Nick is one of the camp counselors. He's decided that he's done counseling married couples and he's ready to do something more meaningful with his life. He's with a group of people waiting for the camp doctor when out walks the human he had a good time with not too long ago, Dr. Welch. Needless to say, things don't go over too smoothly at that moment in time. Like, Nick kind of feels a little deceived, even though neither one was like, hey, by the way, I'm on my way here for this job. Oh, I'm on my way here for this job. No, they didn't have the little small talk chit chat. They got right to business during their layover fun. Here's the thing with Nick. He wants to find like his forever person, but he knows that it's not a human. Because no matter how many times you explain something to a human, tell the human, and the human says they understand, they'll never fully understand the life of a were. And to Nick, that feels like deception. So he can never be with a human. His reasoning. But he feels this pull to the doctor. The doctor, Drew, has grown up pretty much his entire life with a were family. His mother, when he was younger, married a male who had children, and they all grew up together. Anything that her husband's children were taught, Drew was taught. Whether even if it had to be like changed just a little bit, he was still taught. So martial arts, obstacle courses, hunting. Drew was taught these things. Drew knows the in and outs of being a werewolf. Sometimes I think he might know it better than Nick. But Nick can't seem to wrap his head around this. And this is what causes like the angst throughout the story. So it seems that time and time again, Drew kind of has to like prove himself to Nick. Like, yes, I'm human, but I can still do a lot of things that you can do. Some of them, I bet I can do better. And this is what brings me such great pleasure in this story. They are now required to do all the activities that now the campers do. That way they get a feel for things, they understand what's going on with different classes so that they can make recommendations, fully understanding what's going on. So they make this bet. We're gonna pick X amount of classes, we're gonna see who can do what better. And of course Nick's like, I'm a werewolf, I can do everything better. Not so fast, hot shot. And it's kind of this eye-opening moment for him to be like, okay. Drew is not only the camp doctor, but he's also become the doctor in this small town. And Drew becomes injured when he steps between a battered woman and her significant other. This is when Nick has to decide, is he going to stay with his prejudice and say, no human for me? Or is he going to finally let go and be like, I need Drew. Drew's my mate. Drew's who I need to be with. It's Drew for me all the way. So really the premise of this entire story is that Drew knows werewolves, knows the life of the werewolf. He's pretty much lived it to the fullest, being a human that you possibly can. And Nick's saying, that's not possible. There's no human that will ever understand being aware, what it means, what it takes, and watching these two struggle to find that equal ground. And I really don't want to say these two struggling to find that equal ground, because Drew is on a level and Nick is just kind of like wavering while he tries to find the same level as Drew. I mean, he is just relentless, and then Drew's hurt. Do you finally just take your prejudice and toss it out the window and say, this is mine? Or do you let Drew go? I am taking down the star rating a little bit. I thought the angst of Nick being prejudiced against being in a relationship with a human either went too far, or his apology at the end was not strong enough. Like, he was really an ass for a very long time. And just when you thought he was getting over it, he did something else that was even more of a dick move. And I just felt either this extended beyond the necessary, the angst, the continuation of I'm not going to be made into a human. I really consider it kind of a piss poor apology. I get where Brubaker's coming from with it. Part of it is beautiful and brilliant, but I think at the end it was also lacking. So that's kind of where I stand. Other than that, I thought the story was well done. The banter between Drew and Nick is fantastic. They really are on par with each other throughout all of this. Nick is just behind because he's dumb, is the whole thing that really goes on here. But they're constant competition with each other, and no matter what they do, constantly competing. And I loved it. I am giving Under a Blue Moon by Brubaker 4 stars. I highly suggest, if you haven't read the Camp HOWL series, do it, do it, do it. I think they're a very unique twist on the whole werewolf tale. I don't think I've said this yet, but it's a camp. Generally werewolves in this universe turn around the age of 19, and so if your family can afford it, they send you to this camp so you can go through the turning process there and get kind of reacquainted with life. And you go through classes and trainings and different kind of things. And the stories that take place at Camp HOWL are generally with the employees. The first one is with a member of the campers, but he had a late turning by several years. And I loved that book. I love this one too. So what I am going to do for you is I am going to leave the Dream Spinner and Amazon links down below so you can click one or the other and be on your way to reading. If you've enjoyed this review, I'm going to ask that you help me with that YouTube algorithm and give me a like. Leave me a comment. I love to hang out with all of you guys, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm kind of recovering from some things in my life, and I don't know when new content will be out, but that is the magic of the subscribe button, is that you will get a notification when I have something new for you. If you like me and think this chick's pretty awesome, down below I'm going to leave stalker links aplenty. Go, click, investigate, enjoy. If you have a book or an arc you'd like me to read, or some light editing proofreading you would like done, you may request via website. Under a Blue Moon by Brubaker, published by Dreamspinner Press, part of their Dreamspun Beyond series, 4 stars. Bye. Hi, my name is Christina and I am your librarian here at Christina's Bookshelf. And today I am bringing you Camp H.O.W.L, aka Camp HOWL by Brubaker. This is a book from the Dreamspun Beyond series, which is the paranormal series from Dreamspinner Press. And this is a werewolf, and I loved the concept, like absolutely thought it was brilliant. Our 2 main characters, Adrian Rothschild